There's been a rumor going around about Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje. I love it. And by the way, when you look at the pieces left on the board, it seems like it's going to be Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. So Charles Oliveira would like a title shot. Okay, great. No surprise. Definitely good enough to get one. And all the boys want a title shot. I mean, I'm not bringing you anything that you actually needed to be told, but it's relevant to the story because his manager came out and said, and I quote, Charles Oliveira wants a crack at the UFC title, not Justin Gaethje. Charles Oliveira came out and said, so Charles Oliveira's manager, Diego Lima, then came out and said, he's won 8 fights in a row. Charles Oliveira came out and said, so his manager, Lima, then come out and said, he ran over Tony Ferguson. Tony had won 12 fights until the title fight up to that point. He's very good, and he made a very compelling case for him. Charles Oliveira came out and said, and that is why Charles Oliveira is not getting the title shot. I mean, in all fairness, it's a very sound argument. The guy's handsome. He's the new kid on the block. He's got everything going for him. And by the way, I'm not here to hold him back. He's going to get his title shot. He might even get the damn title. That guy's a stud. I'm on board. But when the most compelling things and the most interesting things that are said about him since his biggest win over Tony were said by his manager, that's why he's not getting the title shot. Where is Oliveira standing up to this? And by the way, Oliveira, even if on accident, made his fight with Gaethje very interesting because he said, I want the title, not Gaethje, who got steamrolled. Well, nobody talks bad about Justin Gaethje, and if you do, you don't get away with it. So, I mean, it's one of these things where he has now aligned himself with Justin Gaethje, and that's a very interesting match. There is no title shot, though. Now, Oliveira could be out there hustling. I don't think that Oliveira is one of these guys, and you will meet these guys. You're going to, the Corey Sandhagens of the world are out there that don't have any idea what's going on, even in their own division. And Corey, by the way, I hear you're a very nice guy. I'm not looking to pick on you, but you're a great example of a guy that doesn't know what in the hell's going on within his own division. I don't think Charles is that upside down and backwards. I think he's aware that the current champion is in some kind of a purgatory, saying he's done with an organization saying, not quite yet. I think he's aware that the sport's biggest star, Conor McGregor, is returning in 2 weeks. I think that he's aware that he is the guy with how to match. History says go through a top contender, get a match. Gaethje was the number 1 contender and former champion. I don't know that he actually thinks that he's holding out for a title shot. But I also would have no way to know because Charles Oliveira has said the foggiest idea what he's thinking. The foggiest idea what he's doing. He hasn't gone on social media. And by the way, a picture is worth 1,000 words. He hasn't dropped videos on Instagram of him training, of him running, of him on the scale, of him doing pull-ups. I mean, fill in the blank. He's not doing anything, but his manager did make a very compelling case that he's won a whole bunch of fights and he's a pretty good fighter. I don't disagree. His record's good in that division. It's not as good as Gregor Gillespie's. His win-loss percentage is good in that division. It's not as good as Gregor Gillespie's. So is that what we're going to go off of? Now, this isn't going to hold him back forever. But you see a significant difference here. When every message that I'm bringing to you from Charles Oliveira, I'm getting through his manager because Charles Oliveira has said, you see the problem. And by the way, dismissing Justin Gaethje, saying Justin Gaethje got steamrolled, I mean, even if on accident, that fight, at least for me, cannot get here quick enough.